Hi there, Susan C., Mentor for Moms, and I'm here to share with you a conversation I had with a mom in a recent mentoring conversation where she was dealing with the fact that she's in a relationship and they had a disagreement. They had a full-on, like, you're not hearing me, and da da da, and they went full at it. Did it get physical? No, I'm not talking about a dangerous situation. I just mean they each wanted to make their point and they wanted to be heard. But here's something that happened that they forgot and didn't take into account because they were caught up in their conversation. There was a little one in the room who was hearing all of this shouting and fighting, could tell that they were not happy with one another. And she internalized that. And that night she cried as she went to sleep. The next morning she was crying. She was concerned. Like, do you all still love each other? Are we going to still be together? Is this going to work? There was all these questions coming up for her. And I listened to that mom and I helped her work through the situation in a way that was so beautiful. She felt so supported and saw clearly issues and places where she was wrong. And she saw clearly how she could walk back into this relationship to make it stronger. Honestly, isn't that a victory? But then I got to give her the real part of that conversation where I said, it is not okay to argue and fight in front of your children. And I'll say that to you. It's not okay to argue and fight in front of your children. It impacts them deeply in their hearts. It profoundly changes their emotional development, their mental development. It changes them. And it's not okay. They don't need to be subjected to that type of experience. It's something that could be handled. So what do you do when there's a disagreement and you can feel it coming on? You can feel like you are not hearing me, or you are not taking into account my experience or my emotions, and I'm getting angry. I can feel the blood pressure rising. What do you do when those moments happen? First, take a deep breath. The Word of God tells us to be slow to speak and slow to anger. And one of our issues is we can be so quick. We can be quick to get angry, quick to be offended, quick to feel misunderstood, misquoted, mishandled, and we get upset. So what if we slow that down? Secondly, why don't we delay the conversation for an appropriate time? Notice I didn't say avoid the conversation. Like, let's not talk about that. Let's just not talk about it and shut it down. I'm saying, why don't we say, hey, why don't we talk about this tonight after we put the kids to bed? How about we don't talk about that right now? That's a beautiful way. Because recognize this, what I'm not saying is we need to avoid the opportunity for our children to ever see us disagree. Because I'm not saying that. I believe they should see real relationships. Like, we don't always agree. We don't always feel the same way about things. I'm okay with that. But when it's gotten to the point where it's heated and we're argumentative, like we're no longer having a conversation, we're arguing with one another. We're each wanting to prove our point is right and your point is wrong. When we're in that place, those are the times that they don't need to be subjected to that. It profoundly changes who they are. It profoundly changes their security and safety in your home and in your relationship. And they deserve better than that. So the next time you feel that way, slow down. Don't be so quick to get angry. Don't be so quick to get heated. And secondly, delay the conversation until an appropriate time, when you're away from their ears, away from them, and they're taken care of, and then you can handle this conversation. You might find that it'll actually be a quicker conversation because you've both had a chance to calm down. Maybe. It's worth a shot. But either way, take into account that your children deserve better than that. And you can handle the situation in a much more level-headed, calm way than taking it right there in that moment. I'm Susan C., your mentor for moms. If you need to have a conversation with me, if you're facing a challenge or an issue in your home, in your relationships with your kids, your husband, or a significant other, call me, email me. Let's be in touch. Let's set up an appointment. Let's have a talk. Bye for now.